Captain America Civil War. We all love its epic superhero showdowns, its touching personal moments paying off nearly 10 years of character development, and the fact that Ant-Man totally has a very good and easy to explain reason for being there.
Wow, this is awesome.
But it also has a villain whose actions maybe don't always exactly make a ton of sense at all.
Tell that to the dead.
I will, buddy. You see, Helmut Zemo may have easy to understand motivations, but his evil scheme would befuddle even the cleverest Bond villain, causing them to give up and go back to feeding their girlfriends to sharks or whatever Bond villains do in their spare time.
Not a great plan.
Helmut Zemo, a member of a Sokovian covert kill squad, lived in the made-up city of Novigrad with his wife and his son, Carl. But then Ultron came to town and had some thoughts about rearranging the city's mass transit and infrastructure. Zemo's wife and child were killed, and though the Avengers put a stop to the attack, he blamed them for causing such widespread destruction and then leaving the country behind in ruins when the battle was over.
And the Avengers? They went home.
Now, a sane person may have gone the Alfre Woodard route, giving a family photo to Tony Stark and then calling it a day.
Who's going to avenge my son Stark?
But Zemo decided to just destroy the Avengers himself. And just being one regular guy with no powers, he decided the best way to do it would be have the Avengers fight amongst themselves.
If I could get them to kill each other.
Okay, so far so good. I mean, a more elegant evil plan designed to actually punish the Avengers in a fitting way would probably involve the destruction of their hometown and the deaths of their families, but Zemo goes another way with it. Good news for Hell's Kitchen and Mrs. Hawkeye. Also, the plan he devises doesn't really speak to his biggest actual complaint about the Avengers, which was that they just went home after basically destroying his whole country. Zemo barely causes any destruction at all, except for that bomb at the UN. His endgame takes place in a Siberian ice cave. Zemo could have started a campaign to shame Stark Industries into rebuilding Sokovia, since Tony Stark's true weakness is throwing money around to soothe his guilty conscience, but that wouldn't make a very fun movie. So the punishment doesn't fit the crime. There's no symmetry here, but fair enough. He's a nice guy deep down who doesn't want to hurt anybody, even in the pursuit of poetic justice. I can accept that.
I'm sorry about your father.
Let's move on to the plan itself. Now, remember when Black Widow dumped all of S.H.I.E.L.D.'s secrets online at the end of Winter Soldier? It turns out that was really important, because Zemo finds them and analyzes all of them for the group's potential weaknesses.
Millions of pages. Much of it encrypted. Not easy to decipher.
He's got nothing but time, and who knows, maybe he hires a crack team of Sokovian researchers and he makes a remarkable discovery. It turns out, way back in 1991, the Winter Soldier, brainwashed and acting under orders from Hydra, killed Tony Stark's parents! What luck to find out there's a long-buried secret capable of completely severing the longtime partnership between your two greatest enemies. This would be like Megatron discovering that Bumblebee had sex with Optimus Prime's wife. So Zemo decides he'll use this to drive a wedge between Iron Man and Captain America somehow.
I thought about nothing else for over a year.
I mean, if all Zemo wanted was to show Tony Stark that Cap's best friend killed his parents so that they would fight each other, he could have just uploaded it to YouTube and saved everyone the trouble of meeting him in Siberia, right? I mean, drop a flash drive into a manila envelope and call FedEx, guy.
Are you Tony Stank?
Drive by Stark Tower and airdrop them a QuickTime file. Anyway, Zemo locates former Hydra operative Vasily Karpov, who dispatched Barnes to kill the Starks back in 1991 and is now living in beautiful, scenic Cleveland. See? Zemo tricks his way into Karpov's house by faking a car crash.
Is this your car out front?
If Karpov, who's now living in hiding, decides not to open this door for a mysterious stranger, the whole plan would be doomed. Good thing this visibly paranoid Russian ex-spy master is suddenly so trusting. Zemo attacks and subdues Karpov, interrogating him by threatening to drown him in a sink. He uses a hammer to bust through the walls of Karpov's cellar, finding the Winter Soldier book and Hydra files. Now, this includes the trigger words he's going to need to activate Bucky to become the Winter Soldier later. He doesn't kill Karpov, but leaves him to just drown in this sink. I mean, I'm sure he'll die. He wouldn't tell anybody about everything that happened, thus ruining your whole plan. And wait, are the sides of that sink even high enough to drown him? Let's not worry about it. It's not like this plan's been a long time in the offing.
I thought about nothing else for over a year.
So at this point, Zemo's plan is definitely to frame Bucky Barnes for something so that the UN or the US somehow flushes him out of hiding. But wouldn't you know, there's another huge lucky coincidence, and Crossbones detonates a bomb in Nigeria, motivating the UN to pass the Sokovia Accords. Well, why not just have an explosion go off at the United Nations building in Vienna and blame Bucky for that? Perfect timing! Even better, the Sokovia Accords open up a huge rift between Iron Man and Captain America, the very same two heroes that Zemo was already planning to drive apart.
This is protection. It's internment.
She's
Tony.
not a U.S. citizen, and they don't grant visas to weapons.
Wow, everything's coming up Zemo.
You keep telling yourself that.
So he frames Bucky for the UN bombing, which kills T'Chaka, the king of Wakanda. That is bad, certainly, but it was not part of the bad plan. This triggers, yes, a manhunt for Bucky, who is soon enough captured by the Avengers and General Ross's men.
Stand down now.
Wow, this is a lot of steps just to get two adult men to start punching each other. Seems like maybe you could start a rumor that Steve Rogers said Tony Stark's goatee looks dumb.
Give me a break!
But Zemo's very motivated. Let's keep going. Off-screen, Zemo kills the psychiatrist hired by the Joint Counter-Terrorist Center to interrogate Bucky Barnes so he can take his place. Zemo then has an ally deliver a bomb to the power station near where Bucky is being held. He impersonates the psychiatrist.
You've seen a great deal, haven't you?
Until the power cuts out, then activates Bucky's Winter Soldier protocols.
Желание, Javoy.
Stop.
Zinadzit.
Bucky breaks free, Zemo gets all the info about the Stark's death that he wanted,
Mission report. December 16, 1991.
and he orders Bucky to escape and kill anyone who stands in his way, appearing to confirm his guilt in the bombing case. So with that assist from Bucky, Zemo flees the Avengers and escapes to Russia. And it's a good thing, too, because if they had just been a little bit faster or able to overpower Winter Soldier in a 2-against-1 scenario, Zemo's entire plan collapses. Zemo now travels to Siberia, having located additional experimental super soldiers at a secret Hydra facility. He arranges for a maid to find the dead body so that the Avengers can piece together where he is and come looking for him, believing that he plans to activate all these new Winter Soldiers. But really, he just plans to shoot them in the head. The plan was always to just get the Avengers to come see him.
Did you really think I wanted more of you?
And luckily enough, they do! And it's just the ones that he wants to see. Captain America, Winter Soldier, and Iron Man. It's a really good thing Scarlet Witch and Vision and Spider-Man and Ant-Man all didn't come along for the ride, or they could have broken up this fight before it even started.
I've thought about nothing else for over a year.
Yeah, but you couldn't have planned. You know what? Never mind. It should also be pointed out, Cap and Iron Man weren't the only Avengers who were present for the destruction of Sokovia. Zemo doesn't want revenge on the rest of the team? Or maybe just all of the Avengers will disband after this and that will be revenge enough? Except against Hawkeye, who had already left the team.
Supposed to go water skiing.
And, Thor and Hulk because they aren't on Earth at this point. But still, solid revenge, bro. 2 out of 12. Ain't bad. Okay, so Tony, Cap, and Bucky arrive. Zemo shows them the surveillance footage from 1991, and they all start to fight. And he doesn't even stay to watch what happens. He goes outside into the snow and listens to a voicemail from his wife that he's already heard 100 times.
I'm going to bed. I love you.
It's like an intensely intricate, step-by-step, fiendishly complex plan that must have taken a year to fully properly execute, and then he abandons it with 2 minutes to go. Yeah, the Avengers, they're probably destroyed, to be honest. I'm kind of over it at this point. Here's the thing, just giving Cap and Iron Man a reason to hate each other is not much of an evil plan at all. If I can thwart your fiendish evil scheme just by being a mature adult who talks through my problems with productive dialogue, that's not an evil scheme.
So how does it feel? Spend all that time, all that effort, to see it fail so spectacularly.
Did it?
Yep. Here's an idea. Why not frame some of the actual Avengers for the UN bombing rather than just one of the Avengers' pals? Or why not program the Winter Soldier to relentlessly attack Captain America, thus forcing him to choose between being killed himself or killing his best friend? Or why not just get some grief counseling and work through your problems without inconveniencing America's favorite superheroes as they prepare to tackle their greatest intergalactic threat to date, guy? Because self-improvement is the best plan of all. So yeah, that is not a very good plan. But maybe there's something I overlooked and you think it's actually a great plan. Or maybe there's other villains' fiendish plans in film history that you want us to look at and analyze this way. If so, hit us up in the comments below, and thanks a lot for watching.